Ha. Okay, fuck. I I don't want to do this. But I'm going to because I owe you guys another video based on the reception that the last one had. I guess. I don't know. There was a lot of angry Selenators in my comments, but there's also a lot of people who like the video, so that's why I was like, okay, I owe you guys another video. I know it's been 2 fucking months, but give me a break. If you follow me on anything else, you know that I'm just a girl, and that is really all it is. I'm just a girl. I don't get nails because I don't like breaking nails, so I never get acrylics or anything like that. But like if I had them, I'd make so much money. Um, No, I didn't want to make this video because honestly, I feel like it would be mean. But I honestly don't think it would be that mean. Now, the more that I think about it. But no, Gabbie Hanna's back. We all know that. Um, she disappeared for a while to, I guess, work on herself and then come back like the same person. Um, which is so funny to me. And now, without giving away my location, which is probably noted based on like my social media, but please don't come and get me. Um, we are in the same state. Um, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna give any more information about it, but I feel like I feel her presence almost like in the air and in the atmosphere. Like when I walk out of my house, I'm like, oh, Gabbie Hanna's back. That's for Gabbie Hanna. If Gabbie Hanna's not smoking, I'm smoking on some Gabbie Hanna pack. But honestly, I don't even know what fucking video to react to, cause there's more up here than when I last came. But I did watch the very first one where she explains like why she left, and it devolves into like a tangent of I needed time off to get better to blah 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 blah. I thought the mic wasn't plugged in, but it was. Yeah, it went off in a really weird direction there toward the end, um, where she was talking about how she's basically like enlightened, and is kind of on like this Jesus journey, that I thought was really interesting. And part of me wonders if she's trying to rebrand as like a Christian influencer, because there's always room over there. Yeah, they will let you in. They'll welcome you with open arms. Like, hey, come on over here, be a Christian influencer. They're always hiring. So, woo, Gabbie Hanna, you don't know what you're missing. Um, but it just rubbed me the wrong way, honestly, and that's why I wanted to make a video about it, because on the low low, um, she came back. She took no accountability for anything, um, and is just promoting music. And it's the same thing, it's the same pattern. Um, it's just that she was gone for a longer time this time. And one thing that I don't believe is the part in the video in which she says that she wasn't even watching Hulu or Netflix or anything like that or streaming. And she lumps that in with social media. Bitch, and this is an endearing bitch, by the way. This isn't like a bitch, but this is like a bitch. Um, Streaming is not social media. You can take a social media hiatus and still watch like Love Is Blind. I also hate the assumption that everybody needs to take a social media break. You know what I mean? People will post things like memes and, like text posts and stuff, like reposts. And it'll be like, just like insinuating that like more people need to take breaks from social media. Like, you see it. Or people will post things like, I'm taking a break from social media. It's always an announcement. Like, I am announcing on social media that I'm taking a break from social media. Number one, don't do that, because now you are beholden to an audience of strangers and friends and acquaintances and whatever. You are setting yourself up for failure because you might come back like tomorrow. And that's totally fine, but some people are going to look at you sideways because you were like, "Oh, I'm taking a social media break," and then you didn't take the break. You came back in like 72 hours. That's not really a break. But that's that's one thing. That's one reason why I would never sit there and be like, "I am taking a social media break," because I just feel like it's just way too much pressure. If I ever wanted to take a social media break, I would just leave. Unfortunately, I would not let anybody know and not let you guys know. You just would have to wait until I came back. And, so I mean, that's just kind of the vibe that she was giving to me. I know that she didn't announce her break, but it was kind of inevitable after everything that had happened. But and you can go watch the videos. People have made super long videos on her entire career, and it really is like a case study and like just your ego exceeding like the physical space in your head to where it gets so big, like your head explodes, and then you end up like right back where you were. And that is kind of what has happened here, right? Like she got so big, quote unquote. I don't know, to be honest, big, lenient, because I was not watching GABBIE HANNA videos in her heyday. I didn't even remember seeing her on my fucking I was gonna say timeline, but on the fucking YouTube homepage. Like I don't even remember seeing her on my YouTube homepage. Like I I did not dive into her content up until she started beefing with that girl Jessie Smiles. So I wasn't even watching her in her heyday. Never saw her on Vine. So to be honest with you, was she big? I don't know. I just think that like it's easy to be a colored influencer on the internet and just get a bunch of followers for no reason. And then just get rewarded for being dumb and doing stupid shit or doing stuff that's like mediocre. But anyway, let's start watching these videos, I guess. I don't know where I'm going to start because I definitely thought that there was just the one, and now there's like seven. And let the horrors show themselves to me. Um, okay, so we got some new poetry. 1 year sober. Okay. And you know what? I'm not gonna go on my my rant right now about that, but I'll save that for later. But you know how I feel about that. More story times, which is nice. Do you see how we have like gone back to the beginning, like full circle? Um, just I don't even know, just a full circle thing here. Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my God, it's loud. Okay, so this is just the same. This is. I don't want to sit through this. That's the same. That's leave. No. I realize that I've said two contradictory things. Actually, maybe just one contradictory thing. Hold on. There we go. I said that I know too much about GABBIE HANNA, and I also said that I didn't watch GABBIE HANNA, so it's kind of contradictory. But the reason why I know so much is because of that whole situation with Jessie Smiles when it happened. Like her name was all over YouTube, and that is why I figured out and how I figured out like who she was. I knew all those people around her for the most part. Like I knew of them even though I was not watching their content. Um yeah. So, here we go, I guess. The song promotion. We have to sit through this, so I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm going to put the captions on though just in case. Every day is a vacation when you're self-medicating, but you can only stay so long. Imagine my shock. Turns out I can't turn back the clock.
I started really smoking when I was around 27 years old. Before that, I'd tried it a handful of times, but I was just like really not fun to be around when I was high. Like, I was very stereotypical, can't string a sentence.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna pause already because I think that we all called this as a society that she was not the pothead girly that she was trying to portray. Um, those joints in her ashtray were always half smoked. And it just felt so forced. Like, I don't know. I just, like, you can just tell when people just don't do something and then act like they do it all the time. It doesn't really matter what that thing is. And that was the vibe that she was giving whenever she would just pull a pre rolled joint out from her local dispensary um, and smoke it on. Like, I was, oh my god, damn. I was like, put it down. I was like, just put it down, you know? And then to find out she started when she was 27, I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. Um, because she's like in her 30s now. So it wasn't that long ago. Um, I started when I was 17. I don't know. I just. For comparison reasons only. This isn't a competition.
Together, can't keep a thought straight, smoker. Then one day I went to this influencer's
That's
birthday
what it
party, which means
does.
I went to like a sponsored event, and there was this guy, this vendor who was just handing out weed cartridges. He was giving out one at a time, but for whatever reason, he gave me like six, and then I was with somebody and they gave him six too. So then my friend comes over and then he leaves his behind.
Excuse me. Did you say six? Why is this the first time she's telling the story? Six? For free? For the free? Six?
So all of a sudden, I have 12 weed cartridges in my house, but I didn't smoke them for a really long time. So fast forward a little bit, and I'm going
That's a
through some
lot. That'll
stuff,
last
you
you a
know,
long time.
typical.
Not me.
And there
I
were a
mean,
couple nights
yeah,
where
no, it
I
would last
started
me a
drinking
long
alone.
time. Probably
And right
12
away, I
weeks.
was just like, nope, nope, this is not going to be me. This is not going to be my life. I'd rather be a drug addict. So I started smoking by myself at night, and mostly I would just sit on my couch.
Drug addict is a strong word for somebody who smokes weed at night in the form of a vape cartridge. Thank God. I hate this. I hate when people will like do something and then like promote it and then go turn around and badmouth it. Like, huh? I mean, like, she wasn't explicitly telling her audience to go smoke weed, but she was also like not telling her audience to go smoke weed, and she was smoking weed like in her videos. So I mean, that's what I mean by promoting it. But like, what the fuck do I know?
Put on a show and draw or write. It was so easy to get kind of lost in the work, but I also want to say that it was not fun or enjoyable. I was always scared. I was super paranoid. Like every little sound freaked me out. I remember one night
Okay, then you shouldn't be smoking it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Or you're smoking too much,
I was in bed and I saw a teddy bear laying on the
or just
ground
don't
and I
smoke it.
knew it was a teddy bear. For a fact, I knew it was a teddy bear. But for some reason inside, I was just like, but what if it's a dead body? So a couple years in, this became a nightly routine for me. At this point, very much the unwind.
What if it's a dead body? um. Okay. This is gonna be this is gonna be fun to get through. Um.
To my house and things got kind of dark and chaotic. For the first time in literally 6 years, I stopped posting. Like literally for 6 years from the week I started posting, I did not miss an upload. So I go a few weeks without uploading and somebody suggests that I do Vlogmas. So I'm like, okay, Let me give this a try. So I try filming and it's kind of hard. Like it didn't feel natural. I was really uncomfortable and I was kind of out of the rhythm of doing it. Like I was on such a train for a minute that once it crashed, I was kind of scared to get back on. You know what I mean? So for the first time, literally ever, I smoked before I filmed. Like I'd never filmed high before. Maybe once. Actually, definitely once. So I'm high. I'm talking out loud with nobody but myself, the camera, and God to hear what I'm saying. I was able to actually
And
uncover my own
God.
thoughts. So, like in therapy,
And God.
for example, even though I was there in this, judgment free zone to talk about things, I just couldn't get there. I am a very, very, very socially anxious person. And I know that if you're watching this and you literally only know me from the internet, you probably, maybe not probably, but maybe might not guess that. I'm literally in a room by myself talking to an
Oh my
inanimate
god,
object.
this
So
is the
even in
point.
this small room
What?
with a therapist, I was just like so high strung and guarded that I
Sorry,
couldn't
I
actually get
just
to the
am.
root of anything. But I would take a hit, I would turn on my camera, and then I would just start talking. And when no more words came out, I just stopped. And then I'd watch it back and I'd edit it. And it felt like I finally had someone I could trust.
Okay, so I remember those videos. Ooh, fuck me. Remember those videos. And I just thought that they were fine. Um, I've never, I, listen, I'm not a fan of her content, obviously. I just watch it because it's like absurd. And there's a lot of people that I watch just because I think that they're just kind of like absurd. And she's right. It is like a crazy train ride, you know, watching her content. But I, I mean, it's just annoying me, like the bad mouthing of it. Like, I get it. It's not your thing. If it makes you paranoid, just put it down. Like it's that simple. Um, but when she's like, I didn't want to become this person who smokes at night every night before they go to bed as a routine or whatever. It's no kind of this person. It's not like a specific type of person. She means addict. Um, which is just like, I mean, there are worse vices, I guess. You could say that. Um, but addict is a strong word for, I think, weed, for something that like you can quit and be all right. Like, I mean, I guess like that is a huge debate in the world of weed smokers and non-weed smokers, is like, does this make you an addict? And I mean, like, I would argue yes and no, maybe, because like people say, oh, you can be addicted to anything, and I guess that's true, but also like, how disruptive is the quote unquote addiction to your life? Because isn't part of the definition of addiction that it is disruptive to your life and to your activities and to your progress, etc.? Like, it's unproductive for you. Like, if you smoke weed and you don't go to work, then maybe you have a problem. But there's people who smoke weed and go to work and they go to school and they do these things, and I wouldn't classify them as quote unquote addicts. I mean, you could say maybe functional addict, but even then, it's like I said, I've been smoking since I was 17, and there are days where I will literally forget to smoke, and there's no difference. I mean, like, the difference is that I'm not high. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's just an interesting. It's coming from someone who smoked for like a hot second there. She said she started at 27. What is she, like 31 right now? 32? I don't know. But it's just like, that's rich.
To talk to. I'd watch myself pouring my heart out to myself, saying all the things out loud that I didn't even actually know that I was thinking because my thoughts were always racing so fast that I couldn't even grab a hold of them. I'd edit it, watch it back, and I would feel peace for a moment. It's like a genuine therapy session. I was able to stop masking. I was able to see myself without a mask.
Why did I stop? Um, I definitely thought she was gonna say something else. And I was going to be like, well, why'd you stop doing that?
Started genuinely falling in love with myself in a
But to
radical.
be honest with you, I'm going to skip ahead. Oh, what's this? Who's this guy? Lazy, depressed, motivated, happy. That's me. I'm both. I'm all four, honestly.
Got me. I didn't even watch the video. I just looked at the thumbnail and immediately I was like, I'm quitting. It was a video of a guy who didn't smoke weed for 365 days. And on the left, it said day 1, lazy and depressed. And on the right, day 365, and it said
Bro, what is he on? My God. He must be doing dabs off the stove. Look at those eyes. It's crazy. I don't look like that, do I? No, I do. Wow. This is interesting.
motivated and happy. And the word motivated is what struck me. For the last couple years, I felt like I had all these ideas and plans and daydreams. I was in this constant state of creation but could not execute. So that was the moment. Every argument that I had just melted. So I quit, but this time I set myself a timer. 1 year. No more like, oh, let me just like go a few weeks just to prove I can. No. 1 year. And here's the result. So weed actually changes your brain chemistry. It does have physiological, psychological effects on your brain. I needed to reset my brain, rewire.
Okay, I don't know how true that is for adults, like people who are like past the age of like 25, 26. She said she started at 27 and she quit already. I know that she's in her early 30s, but I feel like I'm not a neurologist, but I also feel like she's probably fine. Um I mean, I worry about me because I can't remember shit. But I also have never really been able to remember shit. I don't know, man.
My brain. And within a few weeks, I did notice changes already, but that's the point where normally I would start
Jump scare.
smoking again because I'd be like, oh, I feel a lot better. Like, I can smoke again. But I didn't, and each week got clearer. Hey, I'm in the middle of filming. I'm leaving for LA tonight. Okay, bye. I was able to make these major life decisions that I'd been putting off, like moving across the country. I needed to make that decision in a clear and sober-minded place. I was able to actually organize my life and get things that
I do want to know why she moved back. Part of me thinks it was just like a financial decision because LA is incredibly expensive compared to Pennsylvania. But also like I get why people go to LA, I guess. Maybe I understand it a little bit. Not really though, because I don't have the money. And likely never will.
I've been putting off done. That list would be too long and uninteresting, but just know it was good. The anxiety that I was convinced the weed was fixing, which obviously it wasn't because I still had anxiety and thus I was smoking more weed, actually went away, shockingly. Depression lifted too. And most importantly, I just feel peace. I am not dependent on.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, all you have to say is that, like, weed wasn't for me. And that's, like, it. Like, you could say, like, it made me paranoid and it made me more depressed. Fair. Totally fair. Like, totally fair. Totally normal reaction. It's just, like, don't shit on it and, insinuate that people are addicts for smoking before bedtime. Like I mean people actual addicts are using it. So what does that say? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
On anything except the Lord our God, amen. I stepped away from social media at the same time, which is actually my real addiction. Weed, not so much. Wasn't really an addiction. Social media, real addiction. And we'll talk about it. But yeah, I stopped wasting a lot of time on there and also in a lot of other ways. And I'm happy. And
And it's like, is everything an addiction or are we just doing a lot of things? Do you know what I mean? Is it just like overconsumption or like overexposure. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, maybe, like I'll get off social media after like a couple hours and go read a book, and I'm like, I'm tired of looking at my timelines and feeds. Um, but I'm not like, oh man, I'm so addicted. Let me get off right now and go read a book. I don't know. I guess she's speaking for herself. So right now I'm really just projecting, but also like, girl,
motivated. It's like I'm the me that I was before I had to tuck her away and hide her from the world. My reason that I've never been able to just like sit down and enjoy the creative process when it comes.
all right, enough. This is her visualizer, I guess, for her new song. Um, and they're always just like incredibly lazy. I remember her early music videos, um, being like productions. Obviously, the budget is not there. Her bills have been affected. But this is just, they're boring. Sorry. This is spooky, also. I like the couch.
Where did I go? I got lost in a cloud of smoke in the atmosphere, almost like I disappeared. And it's a little bit ironic how I went missing as I was trying to find myself. But what do you know? I was always near, and I'm still right here. 2, 3, 4. If you run out of money, you're broke. But if you run out of time, you're dead. So decide what you value the most. Cause if you make the wrong choice, it could cost.
Okay, like, per usual, it's not, like, terrible, but it's also not great, and I don't really want to hear any more of it. Um, but I don't know what this is, but Homegirl has her first and last name here on the internet for, oh, only 100,000 people. I was gonna be like a million people. No, we're not getting millions of hits anymore. Those days are gone. They're over. You know, I mean, sometime they gotta end. I don't know. You might think that that was harsh. You might think that that was mean. Um, and I mean, I don't think it was that mean. I just think that like so much happened prior, and there's just so much evidence of her being kind of not great to other people. Um, that's why I feel like this is justified. Like no one's immune from critique. So that's kind of why I was like, I'm gonna watch her videos, but I'm gonna record myself watching her videos this time because the things that I say to myself while I go through her content is I'm truly just like, I have to bounce these thoughts off of someone else, and that someone else is you. But it follows the same formula. We're not surprised. She leaves. She comes back for a little bit. Um, Promotes a new song. Releases a video for it. Promotes some other stuff. I want to hear about the move. That's what I would like to hear about. Like, I honestly, like, I want to hear about the move. Like, girl, why'd you pick up from halfway across the country? Not halfway, all the way across the country back home. Like, why'd you move home? Even though we probably know what the answer is, but I want to hear from her. I would like to hear that. Um, I would like to hear about the new living situation. Do a house tour, something like that, girl. You know, like let's start digging up ideas that are further and more than just promotion for songs that are very similar to what you've made in the past. Not to drag you or anything like that, but yes, that song sounds exactly like another song that she did. I think it sounds like that song where she's in the tub. Same vibe somehow, but I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I don't know. I mean, I listen. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist or a person of any type of addiction studies. I wouldn't even know if social media addiction really existed. Maybe it does. Um, I post a lot, but it's like it's very like it's sporadic. Like some days I post a lot. Some days I don't post at all. Some days I post a few times. Um, it just depends on what's going on. It's and I mean like she was also contractually obligated to post anyway, so like it's not like an average person posting. That was her job, so it's interesting that she is saying, I had this social media addiction, I had to post all the time. It's like, yeah, well, also, like, you also were obligated to post, and now you also seem like you are headed back in a direction where you want to be obligated to post as well, um, because of all the promo that you're doing and all the work that you're doing to get your new song out there. It seems like you're kind of headed in the same direction. Um, and that wouldn't be a surprise, right? I mean, she's in a different location, but it's the same shit. Different day. Um, same shit, different day, different state. I really have to pee and I want to make myself some pancakes. So, that's what I'm going to go and do. And I'll edit this sometime later and post it. And you can view it. You cannot view it. You can view some of it. But I would love it if you checked out my link tree, which I'll leave in the description because it has all of my other social media in it and it has my shop in it with all the stuff that I make. So that's me promoting myself, and I don't even like doing that, to be honest with you. It feels weird. But I should be proud of what I make because I make it with my hands. My own two hands over there. Literally over there. Thank you for watching. I have plans for a lot of content. Um, you can't rush the artistic process, so be patient. Um, and thank you for watching and hanging out today. This is a strawberry lemonade mixed with ginger ale, if you were curious. It's delicious. It's the reason why I have to pee so bad. Goodbye. Thank you.